why creativity is the voice of your intuition and how to better listen to it. So our creativity is twin sisters with our intuition because our creativity is the part of us that creates. We have to remember that we come into the world creating, singing, dancing, playing, drawing, and enjoying it. As we get older, we disconnect from our creative selves because, one, it's not valued in our world. And two, we oftentimes think that creativity is reserved for a special elite group of people who are very good at it. These are the artists, the musicians, and people that we end up looking up to in our society. And the thing is, we have to remember that it's our divine birthright to create. Every single thing in your life came from not only your creative self, but from your imagination, from your ability to not only manifest, but connected to your spirit and your intuition. When we think about creativity, it doesn't exist in the world of right, wrong, good, bad, all, nothing. What it does is it resides in the present moment. It connects us to what resonates, what feels good, what opens us up. And it connects us to solutions, has us see things from new perspective, and doesn't get caught up in black and white. It's not for an audience. It's for ourselves. It's for our own joy and purpose and connection. It's fuel. But because so much of our world so values the intellect, we disconnect from our creative selves, feeling that it's not good enough or that somehow what we do creatively has to be performative. I know that because I remember not that long ago, I just moved to New Orleans and I took an improv class. And this is one of the first times I was like, all right, I'm going to get into my creative expression. And I loved it. It was play. It was listening and being available, being movable and guidable. It was trusting myself and trusting the universe, not knowing what the outcome was. These are all beautiful mirrors of our intuition. But the moment that we had our first performance, the moment that we had an audience of like 5, which were, it's like kindergarten class. Everybody who's showing up is there to be supportive. I'm not on an SNL casting. That was the moment that my intellect jumped in and got so afraid of doing it right. What if I embarrassed myself? What if I did a terrible job? And what it did was snatch me immediately from the present moment, which is not only where my creativity is, but where our intuition lies. And I did terrible. I hated it because I was in my head. And the intellect, that part isn't the part of us that creates. That isn't the part that connects. It's the part that protects. And when we're in that space, it is not a fun place to be. But when we take a moment, connect back to our present moment, connect to who it is that we are, and get away from having to do it for others, but doing it for ourselves, for our own joy. It doesn't matter what the outcome is. That is when we get into the flow. That's when our ego intellect starts to relax so we can be connected and protected and play. So your intuition is directly tied to your spirit because your spirit came in as a creative dewdrop of the divine. And when we connect back to our creativity, reclaiming our creativity and just lowering the bar, it doesn't have to look any which way. The only question that you have to ask yourself is, does this feel good? Is this something that excites me? And if your barking dog, that part of you that goes all nothing, wants to do it for another, is the one that's terrorizing you or terrifying you or telling you that you can't, what you got to do is do it anyway. We have power of our own decision and where we put our attention. And so if we can move away from that part that tries to protect us creatively, but only has like this much information, back to the present moment and choose to connect with our own sweet spirit in the present moment by saying, does this feel good? Yes, then we can flow. So for you and your own creativity and your own connectivity, here are some different things. 1, surround yourself with beauty. Our spirit loves beauty, and creating anything, even if it's messy, is beautiful. So give yourself flowers, go out in nature. These are all really good ways that we can look at nature's color palette and find ways to fuel ourselves creatively. 2, go slow. A good thing that I like to do, because I'm right now really reclaiming my own creative self, is give yourself privacy. Don't do it for an audience. The moment that we can start to have to feel like we have to share it until you're ready, then it's a really quick way that we can get our ego intellect to start barking and criticizing instead of allowing ourselves to just create. 3, connect with your inner child. What did you love to do as a little kid? Did you love to dress up? Did you love to color? Did you love to paint? The more that we can connect with that part of ourselves, the more that we can actually harness and connect to our intuition and feed our spirit and remember who it is that we really are without having to pretend or who we aren't or try and come up with some sort of, personality. 4, listen to music. Music is a great way, moving our bodies. I say it all the time. It's really good creative juice and allows us to move with our creative impulses instead of think about them. And 5, I believe I'm at 5, another really great way if your creativity has been really stagnated or you're not feeling like, or maybe even feeling intimidated by a blank canvas because it can be really overwhelming or daunting, is get something and get some guidelines, get some bumpers, whether it's a paint by numbers or copying one of your favorite artists. A good friend of mine brought me over to her house the other day and we copied these paintings by this beautiful visionary artist, and it was wonderful because it was simple and creative and fun and a beautiful way to start. It's like, oh, now I have some guidelines. And the most important thing, create. You can create in the kitchen. You can create by putting on makeup. You can create by putting on clothes that make you feel good. You can create by being an alter ego. There are so many ways to create. And remember, it's not other people, it's you. And you are a beautiful creation of the divine. And it, like I said, is your birthright to create. So don't give that permission to the others, to the naysayers, to even your own barking dog, because they don't deserve that much credit. Your spirit does. Plus, creating is super fun. So I hope that you enjoyed this video of this week. I'm sending you all my love. What are things that you love to create? And if you're on YouTube, hit subscribe. If you have a comment, leave it for me. I love it. I can't wait to hear from you. I'm sending you all my love. Bye.